Okay, guys, hello and welcome back. Recording. Yes, hello and welcome back. My name is Eliza Mozal, and I help people explore more their spiritual side. And I have ideas just rushing through my head, so I'm just gonna let them flow and let them go. The first thing that I wanted to talk about is actually, why do we suffer? How come we suffer? How come we're so much in pain? And so how come when we are in pain we don't want to be there? We cannot just wish it away. It doesn't just go away. And I'm a person who went through so much in my life, as do so many other people. Majority of people didn't maybe went through the major, huge, big traumas, and it is not a competition. Every one of us have some kind of traumas. Every one of us went through some kind of pain and suffering, some more, some less. We all have our journeys enriched with these experiences, and we can look at them as something we can learn from, something we can grow to, or we can look at them as something that it is, pain in the bum, something that just I never asked for it, it happened to me, and blah 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 blah, and all of that. I've done all this thing in the past, and it never got me anywhere. And recently, in this stage of my life, the last few months, I've been going through a lot of inner pain, a lot of physical pain as well, and struggling, with illness in myself, struggling with illness in the family, and struggling with being away after just starting to making a beautiful contact with some of my family members. And I am fully aware that every single thing happens, and I signed up for it before, so I can learn from it, so I can grow from it, so I can overcome the stuff that I didn't had chance to overcome before, or I just never done well at this one particular lesson, or 2 or 5 lessons. I'm getting my head wrapped around the idea that every single thing that I'm going through in my life, maybe not every detail, but major things I signed up for before I came into this existence. And I've asked myself so many times, how come so much pain and suffering in my life? How come go through it, and sometimes even over and over and over again? And how come I am still staying in it? And one of the main reasons is the answers that I got for myself, which might work for you or might not, but eventually nearly every one of us get to these answers if we are digging deep enough, if we are open enough to receive these answers for ourselves. That doesn't mean that you have to accept what anyone else tells you. The same is with this video. This is not to tell you that's the way you should think and feel. Not at all. I'm sharing just this experience to give you an maybe a permission for you to go out there or digging in this channel and find your answers for yourself in your meditations, in your daily activities, when you're sleeping, when you are awake, when you're out in nature, when you are sitting behind the desk, whatever it is that you do. You can get these answers. They are deep within every single one of us. And one of the biggest things that I found out is that there is pain and suffering because there is duality. In this present reality where we are living in, that we were born into, called 3D, we have duality. So we are able to to appreciate and to be able to learn from it. How would you actually know white from black if there would be no black? So how would you know that there is black without having white and any other shades? And it's not about debating about that, because this is something you understand for yourself. This is something you are experiencing on your journey or not. But this is where I've been coming to, that the duality helps us grasp it all. And in this lifetime, the same as birth and death is a part of it. We cannot have just birth, that is going to be a part of it as well. The same is with laughter and jokes and happy moments. They are sad and painful and not so pleasant moments as well, and they teach us a lot as well. The same is with weather. Not only, the sun is shining and not only rain is falling. There are many different variations, one come after another, and that's the reality that we are in. But why stay in pain and suffering? And one of the biggest reasons I learned on my own example is that I actually learn and practiced suffering on a daily basis. That's what I've been conditioned into. That's what I picked it up with my own special Eliza twist. And I was practicing suffering on a daily basis, and it still can happen. Yesterday, I had a day that I would easily could say, yes, I was practicing suffering. And the way I was thinking, the way I was feeling, the emotions, which is the end result of our thoughts and feelings and actions, everything that I was doing, the way I was reacting instead of responding to life and reality, was exactly the way it would be years ago. Someone I never ever want to be again. And the reason for it is that I kept on in the suffering because I was resisting that it is there. That's all it is. Literally, if I can say one sentence, for this part of my journey that I am in, for this amount of growth and understanding I was able to grasp or witness or channel through me, is that we suffer because we resist something, someone. And two people go to cinema, both of them pay, let's say, £10 for each ticket. I'm in UK, so it's in pounds. Wherever you are, it could be in whichever money is there. So two people go to cinema, two people pay £10 for their seats in similar area in the cinema. One of them goes out of that movie after 2 hours, go to the customer service and asks for their money back because it believes that this is absolutely not worth a penny, and they lost the 2 hours out of their life that they will never get back again, and they want their money back and they want it now. Another person triggers something inside of this person. This person decides, you know what, from now on, never ever ever I will complain or moan or say that I cannot do something, and they literally start changing their life. And it takes them maybe a year, maybe 10 years, maybe 15, it doesn't matter. They're changing their life for exactly the way they wanted it to be, or they are coming into alignment with their soul mission that they signed up for. And you have two people who went for the same experience and they saw it in a totally different way. One person is hell no, another person is like, yes, please, that's exactly what I've been looking for, that's exactly what I've been needing, that's exactly what fills me up till the rest of my days. And the same is with life. Any situation we're going through, any situation we are in, either we are resisting or we are in the flow with that situation. And there are many ways of going with the flow in that situation, but there is very little ways of suffering. It's basically resisting, and it's because of our terms and conditions that we have with ourselves, with life, with situations. For example, I should not be treated this way and that way by this and that person. That should not be happening, in my workplace. This is absolutely unacceptable. So the more I resist something that it is or it happened, the more pain and suffering I'm gonna go through. And I think the most famous is when we resist something that already happened in the past, and we keep on reliving that stuff. We keep on cutting that in half. We keep on reliving in a resistance state of mind, and we keep on going through that trauma and resistance over and over again, which creates blocks in our bodies, literally blocks of energies in our bodies, and sooner or later they turn into diseases and diseases. Whether it's cancer, like the thing that happened for me, a slipped disc, I believe it's accumulated energy that wasn't moved through my body for a while at this particular point with this particular subject that I should have put more work into, and I didn't until until my back told me, oh, you're not going anywhere until you will fix that issue. And I'm working on it, and it's all good, and I'm learning from it. And it grounds me as well and reminds me that I am just a human being as well, not just a spiritual being. I am a human who's learning and going, sometimes few steps back, but most of the time forward, and that's all okay, and that's fine. So the more you resist what is right now, and the more you resist what happened, or the more you resist what could happen in the future, and you go through this, of course, worst case scenario, never the best ones, the more you are in resistance state, which enables that beautiful flow of energy to run through you. It is blocked somewhere at some of the chakras, and if you, or some of the energy centers, and if you would like me to talk about it a little bit more, let me know in the comment section. I will talk you through all of our energy centers and how the energy is stuck over there, creating the blocks that they are holding us back. Yeah, I will be very happy to do it, but let me know if this is something you would like to hear. What helped me change last night? Last night I realized, okay, I am literally trying to run the show. Everyone else has their own mission, their own agenda. Everyone else is doing absolutely the best they can with whatever they've got. It doesn't matter that it might be not my own best, what I think is the best. I might truly believe that they can do so much better. It doesn't matter. They simply do their best, not according to my own judgment. I'm learning to shift away from judging and how things should or shouldn't be. And I'm not perfect at it, but I'm improving and I'm going forward. So when I started realizing last night that, okay, I'm literally trying to run the show and make people be different that they chose to be for this particular day, and I'm driving myself absolutely crazy. I'm believing that I am that mind. I'm believing that it is okay to raise my voice. I'm believing it is okay to speak to people the way I spoke in the past with my anger, underlying anger. And where actually that traces back to just a fear of losing my mom. That's all it is. It just goes back to fear of losing my mind, losing my mom, and losing the control over the agreement that I had with myself, that in my workplace this is exactly what I do, and this is the person I am, and if someone tries to step in, this is let's take this outside or whatever. I'm just kidding. So I've noticed that I was just literally trying to run the show and make things different, and I have to simply sit down and realize that I am not God, that I am not here to tell people what to do and how to do it, even if it is something that they shouldn't be doing according, again, to my some kind of belief. Shoulds and shouldn'ts only brings people pain and suffering if we're staying in that pain. And I started realizing that, okay, this is not who I want to be again. I've been this person in the past. It brought me and those people around me lots of pain and suffering, and it's time to nip it in the bud. I've done lots of forgiveness for myself and others. I apologized to the person that I spoke not nicely to. This person didn't say that they felt offended, but I still felt that's the best way to deal with that. Whether they felt like I owe them apology or not, I just felt like this is what I've been told that is the best thing to do. I humbled myself. I stepped out of that madness. I've done quite few meditations, and I treated myself with lots and lots of forgiveness and love, with lots of care for myself and gentleness, and it made a difference. It made the whole world of difference. I feel like a free person again today, and that's just because I stopped resisting to what is. I've decided I am powerless over my mom, being ill. I am powerless over the situation that I cannot be there right now and help her in the ways I would like to be helpful. I am powerless over life, happening this way or that way. And sometimes I am powerless over my anger, but there are times, the majority of the times, where I am not, where I literally know how to do it, know how to take myself outside of the situation, don't react, and decide how am I going to respond or not respond to the situation. But would we actually learn if we would just sit and take notes? Or we actually truly really learn when we are through the experience? In my opinion, I truly learn when I'm in the experience, but that doesn't mean I have to go through every single mistake that it is possible to do. Although believe me, I went through majority of them, and that's okay as well. That's part of my journey. Wherever you are on your journey, if you are right now going through a process of suffering, you feel like you're spinning in the same pain over and over again in the same faulty circle, the most scary thing for you would be probably facing yourself and sit in silence with yourself with that pain and ask it, why are you here? What are you representing? Where did you come from? Don't try to push it away. Don't try to change it. Don't try to heal it, fix it, trick it. Just be with it. Give it a space. Give it your love. Give it your attention. Give it your compassion and understanding. And trust me, when you will do that, it will come the time to release it and replace with a new emotion, with a new feeling, with a new thought. For example, I am more than enough. Or another example, I absolutely love myself. Or another example, I totally and entirely forgive myself and everyone and everything else throughout all the time dimensions and reality. There's so much you can do. Less and less we are powerless of in today's days. Less and less we are powerless of, especially with Wi-Fi. The help and information is out there. And especially with a meditation, different type of Wi-Fi. If you're meditating for a while, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you don't meditate, move your bum, do the work, do the thing, sit down in silence, do it every single day. And if you have any more questions or suggestions, what you would like me to talk about in these videos, I'll be more than happy to hear back from you. I'll be more than happy to try to help you as much as I can based on the experiences I'm going through. Recently, they are not too pleasant. I prefer to share about the beauty and amazing stuff, but this is what wants to flow through me, so it is going to be done, and it is done right now. I'm gonna wish you absolutely all the best on your journey. I would appreciate if you would comment below, if you would hit the like and subscribe if you would like to see any more of this type of videos, and let me know what are the things you would like me to talk about soon. I wish you absolutely all the best. Keep on exploring, stay amazing and stay awesome, and I will see you soon in my next video.